Purrfection by Isobel. So it's Purrfection like purr. My name's Isobel. I'm a cat groomer. So in 2018, I qualified as a cat groomer. I went all the way down to Somerset from Leeds and worked with KD Grooming. Maybe I'm not supposed to say the company name, but anyway, and I learned to be a cat groomer. And it was really great. And my business, I started up my business then at the end of that year. So this, I guess it's like my 4th year in business now. So I've been working as a cat groomer for 4 years. Yeah. So I'd joined Bill's Facebook group, which was, I originally reached out, I saw this new Facebook group and I said, oh, I'm a cat groomer, can I join your dog grooming group? And he was like, yeah, sure. So I joined because I thought like a lot of the grooming groups were kind of always talking about, quite negative. So I won't really elaborate on that, but I wanted to join a group. I like the name Professional in there. So I thought, yeah, I'll join that group. And then I also listened to a podcast, I think it was by Colin Taylor, and Bill was on that podcast. And I don't know, like something about what he was talking about really resonated with me. And I felt like we kind of had a few things in common. And I just really thought, yeah, I think he mentioned that he did some coaching. But at that point, I didn't quite reach out. And then I did his course that he did on Instagram. So I got to kind of see him and get to know him a bit more. And I just thought, yeah, he knows the business. His wife is in the business. He just seems like really easy to get along with. He seems like really grounded. And I knew I wanted to maybe like look at my business model. And so, yeah, I just reached out to him and then, like had a discovery call. I thought, yeah, this could really work. Okay, so business was doing, so I was getting loads and loads of inquiries, but they weren't always necessarily the customers that I necessarily wanted to work with because I think my prices were too low and maybe my business model wasn't too clear because at the time I'd just started in a salon, trying to set up my feline exclusive salon in Leeds. And I was also doing house call grooming, but I didn't have the balance right. So I was just always like having to chase customers. I don't mean chase them because just to reply to them. And I just felt like I wasn't sure of the direction of my business. So it was going okay. I had like lots and lots of inquiries, but I felt like I didn't have a clear pathway of where I wanted it to go. So that's why I reached out to Bill, because I thought, well, maybe he can help me kind of have a bit more of a longer term vision. So to start with, we talked quite a lot about finances, and I realised that maybe I didn't have a really positive view about finances and I wasn't being quite honest with myself about my finances. So he really helped me kind of look at those. And then I was no longer afraid of money, which sounds strange, but before I kind of had a fear of it. So I just pushed it to one side, helped me to plan and to look at my finances and to look at my incomings and outgoings and kind of really be realistic. So that was a really major thing that he did initially. And then we looked at prices, the sort of customers I wanted to attract, how, what I might do, how I could speak to those customers. But a lot of the time he wouldn't like tell me what to do. He'd ask some questions, and sometimes there were questions that I really had to think about. And so I kind of came to the conclusions myself, but sometimes he'd kind of guide me and I might say, oh no, I don't want to go down that path. And he'd give me some other things to think about. So I feel like he made me really delve inside myself as a person and also like as a business owner. What did I really want? Where did I really want my business to go? What was the long-term focus of my business? So I think, yeah, it helped me to develop much more of a vision about my business and also, me as a person. I think I grew a lot more in confidence and felt like it was okay to be an entrepreneur, that I could potentially give up my part-time job without all the fear that I had attached to that initially. So yeah, it was a mixture between me feeling more confident as a person and then also like having a much clearer vision and pathway as a business owner and knowing where I wanted to go in the next 6 months, year. So it's kind of like having a bit of a longer term plan, which was really good. So in me, I think it's definitely, I feel much more confident about my business, about myself and my business. I'm not frightened to kind of raise my prices, because I think before I was thinking I wouldn't get the customers. I feel I'm more able to kind of reach out to customers in a more unique way. So if it's a customer who really, I feel like they'd really benefit from like a video call or a phone call, I'll do that. You know, I think I was sending out a lot more emails before because I was just too busy. But obviously, because you know, I got more confident, I became more unique, my offer to customers. And then also, in terms of my business, I just think it's my business has just kind of developed in the way that I want it to go. So I have more of a streamlined approach. I know I've got a really good group of clients and kitty customers now that are kind of into a good schedule, whereas before I had a lot of once a year shave downs. So I think I've kind of grown as a professional, and people kind of maybe value me more as a professional, as a cat groomer, because there are so few of them, especially in my area. So yeah, it's just it's like an all-round sort of holistic development for me and my business, if that makes sense. Oh, well, that's easy, because like Bill is just really down to earth. He listens as well. Like I could tell he really listened, and he'll ask you sometimes tricky, difficult questions to make you think, but in a really nice way. So it doesn't feel like he's pushy or, you know, telling you what to do. He knows about the business, so he understands about the grooming business. He understands about some of the issues within it. Obviously, he's also got his Facebook group, so you can ask questions there. So I think you trust him. You just believe that he's going to be, you know, he's got the knowledge, he's got the skills as an actual coach. Yeah, just generally a really nice, down to earth, like easy to talk to guy, who would just like send me a little message sometimes saying, how's it going this week? Even between like our actual video calls, he'd just reach out to me and I could say, oh, I'm not having a good day, or, oh yeah, it's great, I got a really good review this week. And he'd be like, yeah, well done you. You know, just to give you that little bit of like positivity. Each week he'd be there. So it was really, really good. You know, I think he's like really amazing at what he does. Definitely recommend him.
What's next for your business?
So I think for my business, I'm going to look again at sort of even streamlining even more, potentially raising my prices, making sure my terms and conditions are really clear so people know what what the expectations are around my business, focusing really on the welfare of the cats and kind of what I can do to support different breeds of cats, different cats with different fur lengths and conditions, potentially bringing into other things like how to groom your cat days, so that customers can come in and kind of learn about tools and learn about their cat's skin and nails, and you know, things that people ask me little questions like, oh, when the cat's scratching on the scratching post, is it sharpening its claws? And it's like, no, it's actually trying to get rid of the sheath around its claw so that its claw is sharp again. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of like teaching people a little bit more so they understand their cat between grooms. And maybe, you know, even looking at doing some online courses to kind of support people about how to trim your cat's nails. So yeah, there's lots of things kind of bubbling there that I might develop in the future. Just that how much I've grown as an individual in such a short time. So 6 months isn't really that long. It feels long at the beginning, when you sign up, you think, oh, I've got ages, 6 months. And I went through some difficult times while I was having the coaching with Bill. So it wasn't all plain sailing. So if you feel like, you know, if somebody felt like they're going through difficult times and they're really struggling, that I don't think that would be something to put them off. You know, Bill is kind of there to support you through whatever journey as a groomer you're going through, whether you're at the beginning, whether you're experienced, whether you need to like diversify, because we talked about diversifying and doing different things. So yeah, I think he's kind of genuinely interested in you as a person. It's not just the grooming side, it's kind of like you as a person, how you can develop as a business owner.